So let me talk about the spiritual advice for you. We have here the Hierophant. And the Hierophant in the spiritual advice position basically means this is a card about spiritual ascension. Your guides are trying to connect with you, and your guides usually comes in with a warning to tell you how to orient yourself on the right path and how to kind of like, yes, we can, listen to a certain extent to people who give us advice. However, looking at the intentions of the people that are giving you advice, as well as whether or not they're appropriate for you in this time and day, and whether or not they're appropriate for you in allowing you to, come to new ways of doing, or whether or not the advice are so entrenched in the past where it might not be appropriate in your present predicament or in the here and now. So take advice, but at the same time, look at whether or not they are relevant to your present predicament, okay? In the present position, we have here the World. And the World is sort of like life opening up. Opportunities are yours for the taking. And having a lot of people just interested in you. They like the way you look. They like the fact that you're able to get a lot of things done. They like the popularity that you are associated with. This is a card usually of someone who is in the what I call like takes a lot of pictures. So Instagram, social media, someone who could be a model, someone who could be a spokesperson, someone who has a lot of gigs and a lot of potential and just a lot of fame and recognition. Okay, so when you walk down the street, somebody might recognize who you are, or, they turn and look twice, because this is a card that deals a lot with someone who is unique in the environment that they're in. So you might be, very, very different from the people, like either ethnically or racially, with the people that you are working with or you are surrounding yourself with. So in a way, you really, really stand out in a very positive way. In the challenge position here, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is trying to see eye to eye with another person. And I believe it was one of the air sign. I think it was Aquarius that also received this card. I think in the same similar position. This is a card about, making friends, branching out, having a spiritual and emotional connection with another person. And I feel like you are definitely on board to have this with another person, but they are making things difficult. You might be dealing with this character here, the Page of Wands, in the reverse position, where someone is not really putting the effort to communicate. They're not really, I'm getting once burned, twice shy. So if they have already reached out to you and told you, hey, do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? Do you want to go on a date? I feel almost like they're shying away from the situation because they might have felt rejected or they might have felt turned down, okay? And I feel almost like some of you might have not known what to say. You might have played hard to get. You might have had a lot of things and a lot of suitors on your plate. And you might have inadvertently turned this person down. Rather than saying no, you might have told them, maybe at a later date, but they misunderstood. And so they're at a point where they're turning their back on you because their ego is pricked and they might not ask again. And so I feel you're waiting for this person. You have a really strong emotional connection with this person. I feel that you're waiting for this person. Crowning this reading, we have here the Moon. This is a very, very strong sense of an emotional connection with another person. And then as a result of it, you are wondering what they're up to. You're looking at, their social media even. You're trying to reach out. You're trying to reconnect and you're trying to reclaim that emotional connection with another person. And in the foundation, no communication. Okay, there is blockages or stoppage in communication, or at least the communication is or there is communication, but it's not even conducive to what it is that you want to communicate to them about. So I feel like there is a really problematic situation here where you're dealing with another person and you might not think they're very reliable, and you might not think they're very truthful and faithful. You might not even think they are interested in you, or they have the same goals in terms of, you know, commitment, in terms of building a relationship. And so you never, for whatever reason, took them seriously, and you never allow the communication or the conversation to be serious. This is a week for you to rectify this situation, okay? We have the Fool here, taking a leap of faith. I want to say with the World and the Fool, you are enveloped in this bubble of protection. Whatever you do, whatever you need to say, whatever leap of faith that you need to do for yourself, just so you can have that finality, have that closure, just so you can just, you know, get it out of your system. You are divinely protected. So take the leap of faith, communicate if you need to, express how you feel, and show the other person, you know, are you on the same page as me? Through interaction, through conversation, that's when we really get to know the other person, when we can know whether or not they're on the same page, whether or not they value the same things, whether or not they want the same things as us. So with the Hierophant showing up as your spiritual advice, this is like two people who are very, very like-minded. This is also somebody who is very, very serious about the choices that they make. Once they commit themselves to something, they don't really falter. They don't back out. They don't run away when things get rough. They try their best to work things out. This is a card about seeking counseling, seeking a third party that can, you know, shed some light in a situation between you and another person. If you feel like you can't really get anywhere with the communication with the other person, having a third impartial party can really help the situation. In your external environment, I have here the Five of Cups, okay? And the Five of Cups usually indicating to me somebody who's dealing with a lot of regrets. They wish they could have said things differently. They wish they could have done things differently. They wish that, you know, you would know the depth of their emotions, but they're not in a position where they can openly express that, because they might feel like you don't trust them. They might feel like the communication has been very difficult between you and them. And they might feel like you're, you know, moving on with your life, and you're no longer available to them, or they feel like they've missed a boat, or they missed an opportunity with you. I'm going to clarify here. Who is this person that we're looking at? I have here the Empress and the Five of Wands. This is an energy of a person who can be very, very passive. So this is a person who is very, very beautiful, okay? Very attractive. He or she usually more on the passive end. They wait for things to happen. They wait for people to come to them. They don't take the initiative. They don't really reach out. And so they're used to this type of a lifestyle where, you know, the other person, if they want me, they have to pursue me. So if you've already pursued this person, I feel like you're kind of fed up, okay? You want them to take the initiative. You want them to take the plunge. And I also feel like with the Five of Wands next to the Empress, this might be somebody who's a little bit more on the self-entitled end. And there could be a lot of conflict as a result. And then I also feel this is someone who's really, really attractive. They have a lot of competition. They have a lot of people vying for their attention. They themselves feel that they've already lost you because they believe you're very, very attractive, very beautiful, very abundant. A lot of people are going to vie for your attention. So for you Geminis, if this is an ex, they feel that they've already lost you, and they're trying to, you know, test the waters by communicating with you. But they feel like they've already lost a good thing, and that you're already far and gone and removed from the picture, because, you know, why wouldn't you be single, right? And so coming in with your hopes and fears, we have here the Judgment card, wanting contact, wanting communication, wanting something to allow you to see, where is this headed? How do they feel about me? What are our plans? What are we planning to do? You might be dealing as well with someone who's pregnant with the Empress energy. And you guys are trying to, you know, figure out, do we have the financial resources at our disposal to allow another child into the picture? Are we going to be able to successfully take care of everything that we need to take care of in our existing family unit without it being a financial drain if we have another child come into the picture. I also feel some people taking in like family members, like in-laws, and you're trying to plan out your financial situation. Do we need to move to a bigger home? Do we have everything at our disposal? Do we need to get like move to a 5-bedroom instead of a 3-bedroom that we have right now? If we have more people coming into the family, how is that going to change the family dynamics? So there are a lot of talks and discussions about financial planning, family planning as well. I have the Page of Pentacles as well as the Devil in the reverse. So I definitely feel somebody is opening up and really telling you, asking for a favor, or really telling you, sitting down with you and talking through, like crunching numbers and giving you some type of an idea, some type of like a blueprint, an idea or something to allow you to figure out what decisions need to be made and whether or not we can include other people into the family unit, okay? For those of you who are single, however, what I do feel with this 10 of Pentacles, this is a situation where there are too many people involved in a environment, okay? It's too crowded, there are too many opinions, there are too many egos at work. And I also feel we have as well messages, communication, especially offers for a date that's coming into the picture where people are letting their guard down and they're no longer tied to a specific outcome. They're just expressing themselves based on what they want, and they're no longer dealing with being too proud, being like once burned, twice shy. So let me just see with the Page of Pentacles, what is this related to? I have here the Queen of Pentacles. Somebody is definitely making an offer to you, okay? Offer in love. You could potentially be dealing with an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. I see Capricorn very, very prominent and Taurus very prominent in this spread. I feel like they don't have a lot to offer. I clarify here the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like the offer that they have is really not on par with the offer that you expect. And as a result of it, I feel like you can have fun with them, but you're not going to be taking them seriously, or you might even have to turn down the offer.